Welcome, my friends. Todd and I, who are now best friends, by the way, after an amazing podcast, are like kids in a candy store. Revelation Machinery is doing a huge auction right now, but the important part of this story that I want you to know is the relationship and a customer testimonial about Revelation, because Todd, as young as he is, as smart as he is, has been working with these guys for a little while, so let's move right into it, Todd. Revelation Machinery, used dealer, trying to make a good bargain for those selling and a good bargain for those buying. What's your experience been like?
Well, in 2023, of course, we was caught up in where a lot of work went overseas, and we got to a point that we need to liquidate a bunch of machinery. And so, we talked to several auction companies, and I'd used stuff in the past. And after talking to them, we'd struck a deal, and they stated what they do. So we decided we'd try it. Of course, anybody that's liquidating, there's stresses built in. You're like, who's taking advantage of me? Who's not? What's going on? Are these guys fly-by-nighters? Are they going to do what they're saying? Or is this going to be a legal battle? And so, there's a lot of stresses involved. But we signed a contract with them, and we ended up doing 2 auctions with them. We did one, we sold all our automation, all our robots, twin spindle, twin turret, and then we kept half the shop going, but we no more got that sale done. All that work also went overseas, so we decided to liquidate the whole shop. So we did one auction in May, one in October. Well, we come in, I know machinery. I'm like you, I'm like a kid in a candy store. I'm a machinery pervert. I mean, I live, eat, and breathe. I go to the Chicago trade show. I spend all my time there. I don't go, it ain't so much partying for me, it's about the machinery. And so, I'm looking at all this going, wow. And so I know machinery. I track it. I've bought used. I've bought new. I track it all the time. And so I had an idea of what we would have. And they beat my expectation by $300,000 on the first go around.
What?
And so, they understand they got a great platform. They do a lot of advertising. They've got stuff built into their algorithms, for say, that brings stuff to the top, to the front. And they really, when we were doing checkouts both times, we had buyers all over the place. Had many countries buying. We had multiple states. It is a great platform.
Wow.
Now, bear in mind, you get some hickeys, but you average out the good and the bad, and it's, it worked out very well. And then when we did the second auction, we had some key pieces of equipment that I was really concerned about. And Tanner and his crew were very gracious. They knew my stresses involved with, hey, I don't want to give these machines away, but I don't want to be holding on to them because I want to get out of the real estate, okay, which is what a lot of people are going to be up against and when they're liquidating. And so they called me, and we're on the phone when this stuff is selling going, what do we want to do? They didn't try to talk me into selling. They didn't try to talk me into not. They're just saying, hey, if some reason you hold on to this, there's freight, there's potential rigging, there's, a bird in the hand's worth how many, they're just bringing up points. They're not saying for or against. And then mid-stride, every machine, that number got to a deal is going, hey, we're selling. This is easy.
Wow.
And so,
Wow.
But they took that time to work with me. They let me work with getting stuff set up the way I wanted it to be. And then if there was a picture not right, hey, I want this corrected, I want this done. Hey, we're on it. We're going to take care of it. So they let me be part of the whole deal so that I get the full structure. As having a machine shop for 30 years, I know what I'm looking for when I'm buying machines. And I know what I'm looking for in a picture, and I can tell if a machine's been abused or not cared. There's just certain things I'm looking for. And so I was going through going, hey, let's get out. And they hit it. And man, they got great pictures. They knocked it out of the park. And the good thing was they stated what they do, and they did what they stated. And I've always said, when I've looked at other companies doing stuff with, I was like, hey, what are your references? And they give me some references, and we had some good ones. But your best salesman is the last guy you did business with. And he'll tell you everything you need to know. And, really, they done well. And that next sale, it's kind of one of those deals when you get a mixed bag of what are we selling. Now we're selling all the tooling, the fixturing, the carbide inserts, boring bars, the big heavy machines, saws, support equipment, fork and lifts, everything goes into the pile. And you're like, all right, here's how we're gonna go. And the first time I worked with them on a guarantee, and they flat told me, all right, you're gonna give up some money, but you don't have to, but we understand, you wanna build this confidence. That next go around, when we did the second sale, I had full confidence in them. I didn't ask for any guarantees or anything. We just opened, because that way that money is coming back to me.
Right.
And so it worked out well. Well, once again, you try to go figure out what all the small stuff's gonna bring. And so it's one of those deals going, okay, what's left in the shop? If it got 600,000 or so, okay, not so great, but all right, we're gonna live with it. If it gets 700, 800,000, hey, we're doing good. If we start getting 900,000, hey, that's good business. I'm tickled pink, and I flat ass told them. I said, man, if you hit $1 million plus on this side of the auction, I said, you'll be my personal heroes, because I said, I'm aligned. If I want to go start a shop, if I want to move, I can go do whatever I want to at this point in time. And crap, they hit $1,250,000.
They became your personal heroes.
They were my heroes. And once again, the accounting. Hey, this is when we're going to get everything checked in. These are the dates that money's going to flow. When we did the guarantee, hey, we're going to put so much money. The day you sign the contract, we're going to wire so much money. 2 days before the auction, we're going to wire this. I didn't have to go back to them. I didn't have to ask for it.
That's incredible.
It just went. And I told my wife, follow up and see what we're going. It happened. They didn't make it a hard strategy. They made it seamless. They made it easy. It sounds like I'm a salesman for them, but really when somebody does a good job for you, and I love working with these guys.
Yeah, you said that perfectly, actually. It sounds that way, but that's what happens when it is that easy. You use the word easy, you use the word smooth, you made it, seamless. I believe you used that word as well. It makes it easy to say to the next person, this is why
what was
like
funny is the first time I talked to them, I was like, they got enough confidence. I looked at my wife, I was like, man, it makes me nervous. I said, is this like a used car salesman? Oh yeah, they're telling me everything I want to hear. But really, once we done it, I wouldn't, and if I had some stuff to get rid of now, if we bought a wrench, we moved from West Texas to East Texas, and we've got all kinds of wrench equipment, excavators and skid steers, and if it gets down that I don't want to play cowboy game no more, and I want to sell all that, they're coming in to sell it. I mean, it'll just be,
amazing.
Easy. So, I hope that gives a good understanding.
Oh, it definitely does. And it's not like I had to pry any of it out of you. This was a really educational journey.
Oh yeah, you didn't have to. Yeah, and they and people can call me anytime, because a lot of times over the years we went through many ups and many downs. And after the 9/11 attacks, machinery values went to nothing, and we sold a bunch of machinery there. 2014, oil field took a big dip. We sold a bunch of machinery there. And I can tell you war stories about other companies of, trying to liquidate and what we was up against and the stresses that are involved. So if there's anybody that they get in a financial bound, or they just want to retire, or, they got $1.5 million worth of machinery and they got $10 million of debt, I know
a guy.
I can, with these guys, but I can also sit with them, because the stresses can be so high that they're just, they're coming apart at the seams. And if it's a husband and wife, it's a company, and there's who are the responsible parties, I can sit down with them and help them give ideas and strategies and ideas, because there's just ways to work through all that stuff if they just stay on top of the table. So, anyways, it's just a lot of neat stuff that we can work with people on, and just sit down and give people a great ease at heart, especially at retirement time. You're like, man, I've got all these machines, I don't want to give them away. Well, okay, here's what we can look for, and here's what's going to happen, and let them know what to expect and all that good stuff.
At the end of this, my plans get thrown out the window all the time, was to ask you if you would recommend them for others. But I think that's obvious. Yeah. They became the personal superheroes, right?
And the only thing they can't control is market conditions. Now,
Can anyone?
Now, the thing is, what a lot of people don't realize is machinery, heavy iron, on today's market is a commodity. So this machine here could be worth $1 million today, but if all of a sudden we can't get them, there's big demand, drill baby drill, all of a sudden that same machine could be worth $3.5–4 million. And then all of a sudden, back last year when we was in an election year and we didn't know where everything was headed, that machine may not even bring $500,000.
Crazy to think about.
And they can't control that. But whatever the market is, they're going to bring the top side of that market. I guarantee you that. And I've seen that time and time again.
Powerful, man. Powerful. Todd,
Anyhow,
thank you so much,
appreciate
my friend. Thank you
Enjoyed
for the time. Thank you for your understanding. Thank you for conveying that message. All very important for people to understand that are out there who are trying to make these very difficult and sometimes very stressful decisions.
Yeah.
So thank you for conveying that message. I hope this has been helpful for you. Revelation Machinery, this is my buddy Todd. You can tell that he knows quite a bit. Revelation Machinery can help you out if you're in any of the positions that Todd has just described, or a different one, more unique one. Give us a buzz. We're happy to help you out. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again soon.